Yo, what's up guys? It's Noah here, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking through a couple player props I like on Prizepicks for tonight's NBA slate on Wednesday, February the 14th. Valentine's Day today, so happy Valentine's Day to everyone that's going to be celebrating. We've got a big NBA slate tonight, guys. 13 games. This is our last big slate before the All-Star break. We do have a 3-game slate on Thursday, and then after Thursday, there's no NBA games until next Thursday. So we're going to have about a week off with no NBA. They'll have the All-Star games and stuff like that this weekend, the slam dunk contest, free throw contest, or not free throw, but three-point contest. But obviously, for content-wise, I'm not going to be doing any Prizepicks content for that. So after Thursday, you won't see any videos from me until next Thursday. But we got a big slate to tackle tonight, 13 games. Obviously, there's going to be a ton of props to like. Wanted to give you guys a couple early plays I did like for this big slate. I got 3 props that I like that we're going to talk about in this video. So before we talk through these 3 plays, as always, if you guys do enjoy these Prizepicks videos, if they do help you out, make sure you hit that like button down below. Hit that subscribe button if you guys have not yet. And if you are new to Prizepicks, if you don't have an account over on Prizepicks, you can sign up, linked down below in the description, or just use that promo code NOAH. When you do sign up for Prizepicks, you'll get your first deposit matched up to $100. Also, do want to shout out Sleeper. We have a partnership with Sleeper as well. If you guys don't have an account over on Sleeper, you can sign up for Sleeper, make a deposit, use promo code NOAH over there, get your first deposit matched up to $500. Now, if you don't know what Sleeper is, they are a DFS pick'em app similar to Prizepicks, similar to a lot of the other DFS pick'em apps you see around the industry. On Sleeper, you're taking over or under on player projections. You're building out an entry. You can build out up to an 8-pick entry on Sleeper, and you can win up to 100x your money. Sleeper does offer a lot of the major sports like NBA, NFL, NHL, MLB, college football, college basketball. I think all available on Sleeper. Again, you can win up to 100x your money over there. If you guys want to check out Sleeper, sign up, use that promo code NOAH, and you will get your first deposit matched up to $500. But we got 3 plays to talk about for Wednesday slate, guys. I do want to recap the 2 plays we gave out in Tuesday's video before we talk through today's play. So we gave out 2 picks on Tuesday, only went 1 for 2. So unfortunately, if you played those 2 picks as a 2-pick entry on Prizepicks, we weren't able to hit our 2-pick entry. The play that did hit for us was De'Aaron Fox over 23.5 points. Fox had a huge game Tuesday night against the Suns. I think he put up 40 points. But unfortunately, we took the over on Jusuf Nurkic, 25.5 PRA. Nurkic did not have the greatest game. He finished with 20 PRA. He played 25 minutes, which was about what I expected him to play. I thought maybe in that matchup against Sabonis, he'd play a little bit more than 25 minutes. There were some times in that game, especially late in the game, the Suns were playing small, and they didn't have Nurkic on the floor, but Sabonis was killing them around the rim, so they brought Nurkic back in, but at that point, it was so late in the game, it was going to be really hard for Nurkic to go over when he was only going to play like the final, I think he got subbed in with like 4 minutes left. And then I think they wound up subbing him back out again. So that was unfortunate. It felt good about that spot for Nurkic. I thought the minutes would be there. Played 25 minutes, just wasn't super productive. But we move on to Wednesday's slate, guys. We got, again, 13 games tonight. Let's talk through the 3 picks I like for this slate. So first prop that we're going to take a look at is going to be a rebounds plus assist prop, looking for Tre Mann. And his rebounds plus assist line is set at 10.5. I like the over here for Tre Mann. So Tre Mann has had a pretty big role since he got traded to the Hornets. He has started both his games with the Hornets. You want to focus on these last 2 games, against Memphis and against the Pacers. This game, I think, he was back. This was back when he was on OKC. But the last 2 games have been with the Hornets. And in these 2 games, we've seen Tre Mann play 27 and 34 minutes. In that game against Memphis, he had 4 rebounds and 9 assists, so 13 rebounds plus assists. And then last game against the Pacers, he had 9 rebounds and 7 assists. So he's over this line in both his games with the Hornets this season. The minutes, after only playing 27 minutes in his first game, got up to 34 minutes last game. And I think we're going to see Tre Mann be a kind of key part of this offense. Like I think they traded for Tre Mann for a reason. They want to give him minutes. I mean, he's a young guy. They want to try and develop. Now, when LaMelo Ball comes back, Tre Mann will probably have a lesser role when LaMelo comes back. But while LaMelo is out, we're going to see Tre Mann start at point guard. He's going to play pretty big minutes. It's a great matchup here against Atlanta. Atlanta has been one of the worst defensive teams in the league this season. Atlanta plays at a fast pace. These are two bad teams defensively. This should be a really good game environment. This should be a fast-paced, high-scoring game. And if you look at Tre Mann, since he's been with the Hornets, I know it's only a 2-game sample, but in the 2 games he's played with Charlotte, he has led the team in potential assists. He's averaging 10 potential assists in the 2 games he's played with the Hornets. Last game, he had 8 potential assists. And then he's actually averaging 10 rebound chances per game. 11 rebound chances per game in the 2 games with Charlotte. So he's been rebounding well. He's not a guy that you would think to be a rebounder, like a great rebounder, because he's a point guard. He's not like the biggest point guard, but he does crash the glass. I mean, he's had, I think in the 2 games, like what has he had? Yeah, he's had 4 and 9 rebounds in the 2 games he's played with Charlotte. Again, averaging 11 rebound chances per game. So the rebounds, have been there as well. The assist opportunities have been there. Again, he's led the team in potential assist over their last 2 games. The minutes got up to 34 minutes last game. Plus, looking at time of possession stats, so this kind of correlates with potential assists. But there's another stat type that you can look at on the NBA website. Time of possession. This basically tells you, what players have the ball in their hands the most. And over their last 2 games, Tre Mann has led the team in time of possession. So he's actually had the ball in his hands a lot, bringing the ball up the floor, dishing out those assists. Again, he's been crashing the glass too, getting rebounds. I like this spot a lot for Tre Mann. I like the matchup here. I think it's a good game environment. I like over 10.5 rebounds plus assists for him today. DK Sportsbook, they do have this prop, minus 125, favored to go over. So early Sportsbook odds like the over here as well. That's the first play I like for tonight is Tre Mann, more than 10.5 rebounds plus assists. Next play I like, going to be looking at another Tre here, except we're going to go to Trae Young, sticking in that Atlanta-Charlotte game. And we're going to be looking at his points prop, 23.5. This line definitely really stood out to me. Like when I first pulled up the Prizepicks board and I saw Trae Young at 23.5 points against Charlotte, this line really caught my eye. And I looked at some sportsbook odds like the over here as well. So give me over or more than 23.5 points for Trae Young as our second play for tonight. And if you look at what Trae Young's been doing lately, he has gone under this line in 2 straight games. But you got to look at those matchups, man. He had to face Chicago, who's been one of the toughest matchups for point guards this season. I think Chicago's actually given up the fewest points per game to point guards this year. Really tough spot for Trae Young. I know they didn't have Alex Caruso last game, but still, I don't want to say that was like a great matchup because I definitely don't think it was, even with Caruso out. And then against Houston, another tough matchup. Houston's been way better defensively this season. But Trae Young did have a big game against Philadelphia, 37 points. I want to say DeJounte Murray was out that game. Had a tough matchup against Boston, only 20 points. I think he shot the ball terribly in that game. Did have 25 points against the Clippers. He has gone over this points prop of 23.5. He has gone over this in 7 out of his last 10 games. And again, the games he went under, tough matchup against Boston. Also shot the ball terribly in that game, 8 for 25 from the field. Tough matchup against Houston. Didn't have the greatest shooting game, 6 for 16 from the field, 2 for 9 from 3. Last game against Chicago, another kind of tougher matchup and another bad shooting game from Trae. 3 for 14 from the field, 2 for 10 from 3. So a lot of the games lately where Trae has gone under this line have been just because of poor shooting. In Trae, we have seen him be a kind of inefficient shooter at times. He'll have games where he gets hot. He's definitely a streaky player. Like when he's hot, he can put up huge games, but when his shot's just not falling, he can have games where he only puts up like 14, 15 points. But man, even when Trae Young's shot is not falling, he's still going to shoot the ball a ton. I mean, even in these games where he has shot the ball poorly, he still had 14, 16, and 20 shot attempts. So or 25 shot attempts. So he's still going to go out there and shoot the ball. This is a matchup though where Trae Young should be able to be efficient. This Charlotte team defensively, I think they have the worst defensive rating in the league. I know the last 2 games, Charlotte has looked a lot better, with those new additions they added. I mean, Charlotte has played better defense lately. They're 2-0 since they acquired their new guys. But I'm not really buying into this Charlotte team being like a great defensive team. I think this is still a really good matchup for Trae Young. Again, great game environment. 2 teams that do like to push the pace, especially Atlanta. I like over 23.5 points here for Trae Young. DK Sportsbook has this prop minus 130, favored to go over. So early Sportsbook odds do like the over here. These teams, they have played once this season. Trae Young did go under this points prop when he faced Charlotte earlier this season, had 23 points, but he had 23 points on 4 for 19 shooting and 1 for 9 from 3. If Trae Young goes out there tonight and shoots 4 for 19 from the field, so be it, but with the volume, the usage he's had this season, plus I think the matchup being good here, and sportsbook odds like the over, like pretty much there's enough boxes checked for me to take this play. I know Trae Young can be kind of a frustrating player to take an over on because he can be very inconsistent. But I like the matchup here. I definitely think this line is a little bit low for this matchup. And again, sportsbook odds like the over here. So that's the second play I like for tonight, guys, is Trae Young more than 23.5 points. And then third and final play I like is going to be another points prop. And we're going to look at Zion Williamson, 23.5 points. Also like the over here. So Zion gets a really, really good matchup today against the Wizards. The Wizards, I would say this is one of the best matchups possible for Zion. Zion is someone that really lives in the paint, and that's when Zion is having his best games, it's because he's scoring at the paint. He's getting putbacks. Teams just can't stop him, and this is a matchup where he should be able to get whatever he wants. He should be able to score in the paint at will. The Wizards this season, they're giving up the second most points per game in the paint. The matchup is incredible here for Zion. I know lately, kind of similar to Trae Young, like Zion has also been kind of an inconsistent player at times this season. Like he'll have games where he goes out there and looks unstoppable, puts up over 30 points, and then he'll have games where he goes out there and just does nothing and puts up like 14 points. He's been inconsistent, I will admit, but I like the matchup a lot here for Zion. Again, the Wizards defensively have been a train wreck this season. They give up the second most points per game in the paint, which is where Zion lives. And I want to say they've been a good matchup for power forwards as well. If you look at like DVP stats, the Wizards in terms of points per game allowed to power forwards, they've been, let's see, they've allowed the 6th most points per game to power forwards. So like the DVP matchup looks solid here as well. I think this is a really, really good spot for Zion. The role's been great this season. I know, he's still going to have to split some usage and share some usage with Brandon Ingram, with CJ McCollum. But in this type of matchup against a team that can't stop big men, can't stop guys scored at the paint and at the rim, this is one of those matchups where Zion should be able to have success. And early sportsbook odds also like the over on this prop. DK Sportsbook, they do have this Zion Williamson points prop minus 130 favored to go over. So all sportsbook odds, at least looking at DK Sportsbook, they have these props all at least minus 125 favored to go over right now. These are 3 early props that I do like for Wednesday's 13-game slate. Trae Mann, more than 10.5 rebounds plus assists. Trae Young, more than 23.5 points. And Zion Williamson, more than 23.5 points. If you guys are going to tell me on these 3 picks, let's hopefully hit all 3 of these plays and make some money tonight. As always, I do appreciate you guys watching the video, supporting the Prizepicks content. Hit that like button down below if you did enjoy. Hit that subscribe button if you have not yet. And again, guys, if you don't have an account over on Prizepicks, sign up for Prizepicks. Use that promo code NOAH, linked down below in the description. You'll get your first deposit matched up to $100 when you sign up for Prizepicks with my promo code. But that's all I got for tonight. Good luck on this slate, guys. Thanks as always for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.